Hi, today we will learn Dutch or Netherlands about how we put the words that we have already learned from the previous video about the syntax of Dutch sentences. There are at least 3 form or formation. So now let's just put it in the sentence. First, ik ga, I go. Nu, now. Een broodje, a small bread. Een brood, bread. But we add the je, so it becomes broodje. So it's small bread. And this you put the location or the place if you want. If you don't want, skip. I skip. Eten, eat. Ga, go is the first verb, and eten, eat is the second verb. So the first verb we put it in the second position after the subject or subject, and the second position in this case, eten or eat, it's at the end of the sentence. This one. If you want to say will go, you will put will here in the second position, and then the go, it will be here at the end of the sentence. If you say will eat, the will be here in the second position, and if you want the will go or will eat, the go or the eat, it will be here at the end of the sentence. It's here. Because if I put dot here or period, it will be a complete sentence anyway. Ik ga nu een broodje, and then the place, waar or where, the place, and then eten, eat. But I want to put comma here to say want, because. So want is because. After we say want, the words is following this formation, which is the most common of Dutch sentence. So we just follow this rule. In this case, ik heb honger. In English we say I am hungry, but in Dutch we say it as I have hungry. Ik heb honger. So this is the werkwoord or verb, and this is the what. So after want, this formation. But if you want to use because with other word, which is OMDAT, so because in Dutch we have 2 words, want and OMDAT. And now with OMDAT, the words after that, it's not slightly, it slides, it's not slightly, but slides. We see here, the verb from here, the second position, after we use the OMDAT, it slides into the end of the sentence. The second verb is always at the end of the sentence, but after we use several words, one of them is OMDAT, the verb, all of the verb just go or slide into the end of the sentence. If you have 2 verbs, you put it here. First verb, second verb, because second always at the end of the sentence. But if you just have one, you put here, and then you put period or dot here. And now we can see here, omdat ik honger heb. This is the verb at the end of this part. Heb, have. Omdat ik honger heb, because I hungry have. And then this is also the rule that you have to follow after part of the sentence with OMDAT and then comma. You have to switch or inverse to make it into inverse sentence. You have to switch the verb and the subject. So you cannot say omdat blah 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 and then comma and then ik ga. You cannot. You have to replace this. So you say omdat ik honger heb, comma, and then switch. Ga ik. So it becomes this. You switch the verb and the subject after you use one part of sentence with omdat. Ga ik, go I, nu, and then the rest is the same. Now, small bread, and then place or location, and then eat as the second verb. And now we have other word which is daarom. Daarom, it means that's why, or because of that, or yeah, that's why. Because of that, that's why. Daarom. This daarom has to start the sentence. You cannot put daarom in the middle of the sentence. You have to start the sentence with daarom. That's why you always have to put the initial in capital. This D. Daarom. That's why. Because of that. And then after you use daarom, you have to switch the verb and the subject. That's the rule. Daarom is one of the words that after you use it, whether you write it or you say it, you have to replace the two words of verb and subject. That's why here we also see it's dot here instead of comma. Because daarom has to start the sentence. Ik heb honger. I have hungry. Daarom, that's why, because of that, ga ik. Switch. No. Now, yeah, the rest is the same. Don't forget, start the sentence. Capital. And now we will learn about MAAR. Ik heb honger. And then, comma. MAAR, but, and the rest is the same with the most common Dutch sentence formation. We were quote. In this case, I don't put 1 year or the time or time signal. I just put what? Geen tijd, no time, as object. And then om te eten, for eat. Om te is for, but we cannot replace it with for, but we have to use om te. For saying or the translation for. Om te eten. With daarom, you always have to start the sentence, but with omdat, you don't always have to start the sentence. with this word, because we can also use OMDAT in this formation. Let's see. Ik ga nu een broodje, and then location if you want, eten, comma, and then you just say the OMDAT. Omdat ik honger heb. No matter you put the OMDAT first or after the comma, the other words after you use the OMDAT will follow this rule, which the verb, whether the first and the second, always at the end of the sentence. Here, the verb, here, at the end of this part, have, the verb. Here, after the comma here, after OMDAT, the verb is here, at the end of the sentence. Have. The difference is, of course, this one with capital or big letter because it starts the sentence, and this one, because after comma you don't put it in capital. If you put this OMDAT starting the sentence, don't forget after the comma, switch the verb and the subject. And now, this one is a new sentence that I also learned because I didn't learn about this when I studied before. So, let's study together. Wegens is due to, due to. Wegens. After this word, it's the same with want and maar. The position of the words after this word is just using the most common one. Vakantie, vacation, zijn, are. Due to vacation, are. So this is the subject and this is the verb. But after comma, you switch the verb and the subject. You make it into inverse. You switch. This is the verb, this is the subject. Zijn, are, winkels, shops, gesloten, close. Considered as second verb at the end of the sentence. So, want is because, maar is but, wegens due to. But be careful if you want to use OMDAT as because it's different with because, with want, in the way you put the words after you use the word. This one, use this part, the most common one, but with OMDAT, you have to slide the verb into the end of the sentence. Whether you start the sentence, whether you end the sentence, the formation is this way. Don't forget the switch. Don't forget the switch. This one always has to start the sentence. Thank you.